Hey, this is where the moderator gonna take over for a second. Y'all can keep the camera on me. It's crazy, right? And this is not anything bad on the fighter, right? I'm talking about Deontay Wilder, right? I mean, if anybody understands Deontay Wilder's story, they would be amazed. It's movie stuff, right? I think it was at 21, he walked into a gym, really looking to make a better way for his daughter with special needs, right? Football wasn't his thing, basketball wasn't his thing. He tried every avenue. And I don't know if he felt like he wasn't going to be a lawyer or a doctor, but obviously he didn't choose that path. So he was trying to make a better way, and walked into a gym at 21. And we all know at 21, you walk into a gym, it's a very slim odds that you're going to come out a world champ. He walked in, asked guys, say, hey, man, here goes nothing. He walked out with a bronze medal, right? He walked out with a world title around his neck or around his waist, and being one of the most feared punchers in the history of boxing. People are talking about, Sonny Liston, Mike Tyson. I mean, big bruising punches, and they're saying they ain't got nothing on Deontay Wilder. So he, against all odds, he did the impossible, right? So I have nothing really bad to say about Deontay Wilder. But I do have a lot to say about these fans who don't have a heart to be a real boxing fan and can't really come to grips and want to live in this alternate universe that he was somehow cheated, right? I mean, and I say this because it takes away from the sport, right? It takes away from the sport when people want to say, oh, glove gate, this gate, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, at what point do we look at Deontay Wilder, right? I love Deontay Wilder, but the fact that his meteoric rise with his right hand is also a consequence to that. He didn't have the requisite tools of somebody who started boxing at 6 years old. So he didn't have the best head movement. He didn't have the best footwork, and everybody saw that. Just like everybody saw his last 4 fights. I was doing them, and I think we had Fraser Kendall on the show. Shout out to him for coming out. Deontay Wilder has lost 29 of the last 36 rounds he's boxed. And 4 of those rounds he won has been knockdowns. Right? 20. When is somebody going to bring that up? Right? Everyone is talking about glove gate, this gate, that gate, and it's confusing to me. Right? So at some point in time, are we saying if the gloves are even? Because one of the things I didn't like where people were subscribing to, and Deontay Wilder, and I mentioned this, and I was a little bit disappointed. Never in the history of a heavyweight title fight have I seen such a big hoopla about a guy getting a fair 10 count. In that first fight, can we not agree that Tyson Fury got a fair 10 count, right? And he got up. I would have preferred the champ that I love, Deontay Wilder, to be like, well, get back up. I'm going to knock you back down. But he proceeded to lose the rest of that round, right? And he responded like a man that, hey, he should have stayed down. I should have, no. It's your job to put him down again. He got up in the 10 count. We're not talking about an extended 10 count. We're talking about a regular 10 count, but you got a problem with that. Fast forward to the next fight, right? Deontay Wilder said he was sick. I get that. We're all hoping for something. And then we fast forward to the next fight, right? And then he loses. And then we don't hear from him for a while. And then we see all these things on the internet. Oh, it's the glove. This is glove. I'm going to say right now, take the gloves off. They in the ring, take the gloves off. He still get beat up by Tyson Fury. Right? Turn it into, say they in the street slap boxing. Tyson Fury is going to be slapping the shit out of his ass all night. And that's just real talk. Right? He has a boxing. You know what the funny thing is, right? And a lot of people who don't watch boxing didn't see it coming. And I told y'all, when I said when I saw the fight, I was like, when I saw him fight back in 2015, a French guy, Yohan Duapis, I said, man, there's a chink in the arm. I hope he improves that. He never improved that. With Deontay Wilder, if you get at a certain range, he's defenseless. He can't move his head, and he can't get his power shot off. Tyson Fury saw that. He put on the pressure, and I knew he was going to KO him. Now, I also said that I expect the best Deontay Wilder in the third fight, but I'm getting a little nervous about that. Because all these cheating allegations and all this stuff that people are coming up with, I get that. All right, okay, yeah, you want to make all the excuses. But when are we going to start talking about Deontay Wilder improving? Right? And I know where some of it comes from, right? Some of it is like, oh, well, he wouldn't have got a fair shake if this and this and that. And I get that. I don't want to hear none of that. He got beat up and he got outboxed in the first fight. Just straight up. We can all be real about that. Right? And so we want to say Deontay Wilder's cheating. And let's be honest. There's an element to it. There's a race element to it, right? People are going and saying, oh, look at Ricky Hatton. They want to point out what Ricky Hatton did, adjusting his gloves. They want to talk about, oh, he has a history of doing this and doing that. Nothing about Tyson Fury's history other than knowing how to box did anything to Deontay Wilder but that. Him knowing how to box better than Deontay Wilder. And I want to get at people talking about this cheating, right? The craziest thing is everybody had to be in on it. So those fellas from the Kronk gym that you guys want to leave out, they had the Sugar Hill and them. They had to be in on it too if it was something up with the gloves. Don't look at Fury and then go to his history and then leave out the history of the men who really don't have are known for cheating. Right? You think it's whole okay, everybody's the WBC, all this. It's ridiculous. And it's like, man, some of these fans just need to man up. Your boy lost, just like Muhammad Ali lost. He just lost. Right? And to address the component, the race component of it even more, people are going to be like, oh, well, you're not supporting them. Like, okay, so let's talk about the race component of it. Because this is the elephant in the room. People mention it. People, Teddy Atlas dancing around it. People say whatever, right? Let's just be real about it. We're talking about supporting, black fighters or whatever. What about the black trainer he threw under the bus? I don't see anybody really making videos about how his water wasn't spiked, right? Because he wasn't replaced with another black trainer. It was a non-black. So if we're really making a race component to it, right? It doesn't make any sense because guess what? There's people on every side of every color. And the thing about it is, man, he just lost. I mean, I feel like we're living in this alternate universe where people's fighters can't lose. Come to me, right, when Deontay Wilder gets some head movement, when he gets better footwork, when he doesn't lose 70 to 80% of his rounds that he boxed at the highest level. Then we got a conversation. Other than that, man, y'all man up, put your skirt down, whatever you got to do, and stop worrying about some gloves and worry about the next fight, and is Deontay Wilder going to be ready and improve? Because as far as I'm concerned, if that don't happen, it's going to be the same thing. It don't matter what they got on. They can have on no gloves, they can slap box, they can do whatever. He going to lose. And that's my time. I'm sorry I went on the rail. I know we over time, but y'all might not love me, but hope y'all love us like we love y'all. That's all these fellas included, all right? This Boxing Vibes TV, we out.
Like, subscribe.
TV, baby.
Apple, Stitcher, Red Circle.
I'm sorry, I ain't doing my job.
Spotify.
Yeah, check us out.
All that. YouTube.
Do that. Sorry for those I offended, but y'all need to toughen up, man. Your boy just lost.
Yo, hey, let me tell you something, bro.
What up?
On the real, bro. That shit that we gonna be on the map now for real. Love it or hate it, we gonna be on the map now, boy. Your ass, boy. Hey, we might be Uncle Tom's, Coons, and everything.
Oh yeah, they gonna hate us. They gonna hate us. But no, but it's real as it though, man. They were like,
It's over.
Yeah, but they're talking about the WBC's races and all that, and they might whatever.
I feel like they are. That's why I feel like they are.
But come on, man. But let me tell you, be real, Q.
Go.
In what way has Deontay Wilder ever beat Tyson Fury? Come on, man.
Yeah, he would never beat him in a decision.
Even if they were slap boxing, he beat
slap. I laughed every time he said that because it was slap the hell out of him every time.
Yeah, every time.
Slap boxing.
Man, my man went all the way against the grain though, bro.
Yeah, but no, I'm so sick of that.
Though.
I'm sick of that. Bro.
I feel you.
Like, come on, man.
It just
man. If Ali lost, right? Mm-hmm. I had to sit up there and watch Roy Jones. I get my heart broken, boy. You know what I'm saying? I had to watch Pac. Bro, he just lost, man.
Yep.
It happened.
He got to take that L. He got to take that L, man.
You know what, man? And and once I sat down and listened to him in his interview, it pissed me off because Tyson Fury, I think he's a guy, like you said, he'll find a way. He'll find a way to get an advantage, and that's part of it. That's part of the game. I think he'll cheat also.
But Mayweather did it too. You remember when Mayweather and Pacquiao fought? Mayweather got a shot. But because Pacquiao didn't put his paperwork in, Pacquiao didn't get the shot. You gotta master every part of the game.
I don't even count that.
Look over that paperwork. You gotta check that paperwork.
I don't even count that as cheating. Just like I don't count Mayweather not fighting in Las Vegas only because Vegas is the only place that you can get Xanacane shots in your hand.
Yeah,
it's illegal everywhere. So I don't even count that because that's the rules. Like you said, the rules, and we play by the rules. You know the rules. You use the rules to your advantage. And you put yourself in position to win based on the rules at certain, whatever. So it just more so, like I said, a wild boy. You feel a drug test and you blame this and blame that. I mean, but you know, Holyfield. I mean, it's so many fighters
Yeah.
that has been, you know, and they haven't really blown out of proportion.
And see, the thing is, what I don't get is I just don't get the people out in the media who are using it as a defense. Like I said on our previous,
I'm gonna say it like this though. I don't hear any fighters though in the media coming to his defense by and large. A lot of people are saying like, "Hey man,
right,
now,
right."
Now,
it's a lot of these media personalities who are trying to defend.
all these
what I have heard now, and this one thing they gave it some legs to me is some of the spawn partners of Fury came out and said,
right, now that's true, yeah.
And they showed him gloves. Like, this motherfucker took the patent out of this the gloves he just sparred me with. There ain't no fucking, look at the patent on him. Like, so that part of it, I'm like, okay.
But the part that gets me though, right? They throwing the Kronk gym in there. They throwing the WBC. Like it's almost like a Donald Trump. So many people got.
I don't respect that part. I don't respect that either. Man.
Yeah. Because
I was waiting to hear him talk for so long. And then when he started talking, I'm like, bitch, you waited 12 months to fucking come out and cry and use all the shit that everybody on YouTube
and then the crazy part is, you know, the WBC got to take your gloves and inspect them right afterwards. So I'm trying to figure out at what point who also. Okay, so the Kronk, Sugar Hill, and them knew, right? And then the WBC, they was all coordinated before the fight even started.
Right.
We gonna let you get in with these gloves. That's crazy.
Now the only thing I could think of, man, just to play devil advocate for a second, the only thing that I can honestly think is that if Wilder is in cahoots with some of these people who are out here spreading this message, because like we said on a previous pod, I personally think that the only reason why Wilder started saying all this stuff is because even we just heard again where Bob Arum said that technically, legally, whatever term you want to use, Wilder now, because whatever time has passed, is not entitled to a third fight. And so I believe everybody wondered why it was nothing but not a peep out of Wilder. After he got KO'd through the summer, none of that. And I'm like, I believe because Wilder was under the assumption that the third fight would happen. When it started to look like Fury and them were going to move, which Fury and them have, they did want to move on. It's clear that Fury did want to move on. Yeah. I think when he did want to move on, Wilder then almost on some schoolyard bully roasting type of stuff.
Yeah, but he gonna
tried to start saying a bunch of stuff.
He said something. Yeah.
Right, but he was saying it almost thinking like it's when you're trying to say something to get under somebody's skin, man. You're trying to get under their skin to make them sit there and say, "Oh, you said this about me, bro. All right, let's do it."
Hit the thing right. He's like, you know, the gypsies will cheat you. And I'm like, bro, you're going to offend a whole culture of people? Reverse that and see if you're going to stand for that. You're like, we still fighting to this day. So, man, we got to be fair across the board. That's my only thing. And I'm sick of it just because I'm such a Deontay Wilder fan where he came from. I'm like, bro, you're embarrassing us.
See, hey, man, hey, I'm going to say this again, though. Like, regardless of how it go down, man, I really... Like I said, man, I give Deontay this one pass, man. I'm a Deontay fan.
I'm gonna give him a pass.
I'm gonna give him this one
better
pass,
beat some ass.
man. But if we hear all these allegations, excuses, etc.,
it was an egg
after another loss,
I'm gonna tell you like this. I don't even know. Okay, so we ain't in court. So we just talking. I'm gonna say it like this. I ain't gonna get up on no camera when I'm a fighter and say, you done bust my eardrum. You did this. It don't come from no regular. Because it's gonna see. Because if it does, because if you bust your eardrum again, and you bleeding from your ear, that means to me he was beating your ass.
Right. See, even Pat got that eardrum burst versus Cotto.
Yeah, and then somebody's like, oh, his mandible was dented and all this. It's the strongest bone in the body. People's mandibles got broken around this bitch. You know what I'm saying? So
that's the strongest bone in the body.
Yeah, it is. It's the most powerful because
more than your pelvis. I thought your pelvis was strong.
Like no, it is. As far as the amount of pressure it can apply. It can apply without breaking. Mm-hmm. It's the mandible is the strongest bone. But at the same point in time, that shit done got broke before. You know what I'm saying? So like, come on, bro. But anyway, man.
All right, fellas, good shit, fellas.
Yeah. Hey, they gonna come after us.
Hey, that's good. That's good.